everyone, I'm Mithalee. I'm the owner of Shorba Bone Broth. Nada has sent me this mystery box full of zero waste ingredients and challenged me to come up with a culinary creation. I used to also be a chef for over 10 years in mostly sustainability and health focused restaurants, so I really hope I do well. A whole red cabbage, a long English cucumber, a head of romaine lettuce, this gorgeous heirloom tomato, tricolor quinoa, so that's going to be our main protein. There are some roasted salted pumpkin seeds, which I may or may not have already snacked on a little bit, and there's these raw almonds. The feature ingredient is these raw almonds. They're also organic and they're sourced really thoughtfully from Left Coast Naturals. I've decided to make a Kashmiri style pulao, which is a seasoned rice dish with dried fruit and nuts. But I will be using the tricolor quinoa instead of rice. And because I love a challenge, I'm also making a pretty traditional Kachumber salad with the heirloom tomato, cucumber, and romaine lettuce. This means I'll be using every ingredient in the mystery box. Pulao is made differently in different regions of India and even in the world, like in the Middle East and Central Asia. A Kashmiri pulao will have to have nuts, and that's why we're going to use the raw almonds. And for the dried fruit factor, we're going to use these flame raisins. There's also a specific blend of spices, but especially saffron, which is a really popular ingredient in Kashmiri cuisine. So we're going to use whole green cardamom, black cardamom, cinnamon sticks, and whole cloves. We're going to use fennel seeds and cumin seeds. We're going to use Indian bay leaves, which are actually the leaves from the cinnamon tree. And we're obviously going to use our favorite spice, which is single origin heirloom turmeric. So I've rinsed our quinoa to get rid of the saponin, which gives it a bitter flavor sometimes. And I'm going to cook the quinoa in chicken bone broth. This just helps to add some extra nutrients in there. You got the great amino acids and so much collagen. So that's just going to cook till it's all absorbed. The other spice we're going to use is saffron, as I mentioned before. Saffron always needs to be bloomed before you add it to something. So usually in a pulao it's bloomed in milk, but for what we're going to do today, we're just going to add a pinch of saffron to our quinoa, which is simmering in bone broth. Now that our quinoa is cooking, we have the rest of our mise en place done. The Kachumber salad basically contains these three ingredients, so those are ready to go. We have our spices already measured and prepped out. So we are ready to start cooking the rest of it. First, we're gonna get our pan nice and hot, and then we're gonna put our fat in there. I always use ghee because I think it's the healthiest fat around. So you wanna put a generous amount of ghee, and then we're gonna fry our almonds in it. In go the almonds. Stir them around a little bit. They should smell really good, and you wanna toast them till they're nice and toasty and a bit brown. We're also going to add our raisins. Doing this just plumps them up, adds in that nice buttery ghee flavor, and basically makes an excellent garnish for our pulao. Once our raisins and almonds are nice and sauteed, we can take them out of the pan, and then no need to clean the pan or anything like that. We're just gonna add our whole spices. So in go both types of cardamom, cinnamon sticks, fennel seeds, bay leaves. And you wanna give that a bit of a stir and wait for them to pop. Our spices have nicely popped. We're gonna add in our red cabbage now. And stir, stir, stir. All our kachumber ingredients are in the bowl. I just added a bit of lime juice, some cumin powder, and some dry mango powder. And for a bit of a crunch, we're gonna add our roasted salted pumpkin seeds. Stir it up. And that's ready to go. We've been stir frying our red cabbage for a couple of minutes now. It's nice and wilted, mingling with all those spices. Our quinoa is done cooking as well. So all we're gonna do is fold our quinoa into this spiced cabbage mix. And we wanna cook our quinoa till it's dry so that it doesn't get mushy. Now we're also gonna add our almonds and our raisins. Mix it all together. And you can keep doing this in the hot pan so that any extra moisture evaporates. So there we have it. That's our Kashmiri style quinoa pulao with a Kachumber salad. This challenge was really interesting because it shows that with a bit of creativity, you can still use the recipes that you're familiar with, but substitute it with ingredients that help reduce food waste and use wonderful vegetables which might be a bit bruised or on its way out, but we can still incorporate it into familiar items with just a bit of creativity.